Episode 1008, Keeping Score is a Losing Game.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Staring at a stop sign, watching people drive by.
Happy day. I hope you're having a splendid weekend and making some time for family and a little relaxation and rejuvenation for your mind, body, and spirit. Today is Relationship Builders Day, and we are talking about keeping score is a losing game. I know maybe you're watching some football today. I know I will be. And when I turn it on, I'm like, oh, come on, I want my person to win. I want my team to win. But when it comes to relationships, keeping score is a losing game. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and to sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter, the Keep It Simple Strategy Everyday Solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, how many times have you been hurt? Hurt physically, not necessarily. Hurt emotionally, feeling like, oh my gosh, what do I do here? And there seems to be a pattern that always presents itself, and life just isn't getting any better. It causes more pain, and the arguments over the dirty laundry and the toilet seat being left up, and you're not helping take care of the kids and run them from all these different activities. No matter how you look at it, keeping score is a losing game. But that's easier said than done. Keeping score is much more fun. At least we think so at the time. As years pass, it adds up to defeat. Where's your wonderful, happy marriage? Gone with the wind? Unfortunately, this is a trap that we don't always see coming until it's too late. Kind of sneaks up on us, doesn't it? And we're like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. No, you didn't, because you weren't looking for it. When we first get married, everything is the honeymoon phase and all seems well. And then a few years pass and you get into, we want to buy this house and we want to get a new car. We want to have another child. And as you begin to build your family life, what you dreamt about maybe as a 9-year-old or a 13-year-old or a 17-year-old, that this is going to be my Cinderella life, things begin to look a little bit different. And your Cinderella life of the happy ever after is more of the relationship between Cinderella and the stepmother, fighting and arguing, bickering and squabbles. Nothing seems to gel anymore. What do we do? Where do we go? It's a trap that we don't always see coming, but it's there. The bitterness consumes either you and or your spouse. The warning sign flashes dead end or overdraft. The emotional bank account is no more. It's empty. Your spouse or even you is emotionally bankrupt. There's no room left to fight for the marriage. You want to give up, and then you hear what? The big D word. I just think I want a divorce. I'm kind of done here. There's no room for this to make it work. Where are you in your marriage today? Maybe you are a honeymooner. You're enjoying a happiness. You're like, oh, Christiane, I have this life full of just, oh my gosh, he is so wonderful. That is awesome. The thing is, you need to keep investing in your marriage. And that means giving into your spouse's emotional bank account. Because all of us love to make withdrawals. But once you hit zero, what are you really withdrawing from? Nothing. You have nothing left to give. He has nothing left to give. You're like, I don't know. What's left? There is hope. There is hope. You do not have to live a life of regret. You don't have to live the life of would haves, could haves, and should haves. You don't have to live that if only life. You can have a joyous life. You may have a few hiccups along the way, a little few detours here and there. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect because we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. My husband and I have come a really, really, really long way. And at one point we were, thriving. And then we got to this desert and we were barely surviving, at least from his perspective. From my perspective, I thought we were doing really great. And then it all dried up and there was nothing to be found. And I was barely hanging on to hope, but I had hope when everybody else didn't. God reconciled. And even after that, years after it now, we still don't agree on everything. But we approach things a lot differently. He sees me from a different perspective. He meets my needs differently than what he did before, and vice versa. I meet his needs differently. But that took work, and it takes work. You just don't do it one time and expect, okay, it's all done. Wash my hands, I'm finished. I don't have to do it anymore. Oh, no. It takes work, and you have to invest in your marriage. What you do have to learn and understand and adopt is the framework modeled by Jesus Christ himself. Keeping score is not the only way to win. In fact, it's actually doing the opposite. Here is your KISS, the Keep It Simple strategy. Let go and forgive. Oh, I knew it. You're going to use the F word. Yep, I used the F word. Sorry, and it's not the 4-letter. It's the big 7-letter. I love 7-letter words. Forgive. Let go and forgive. Now, before we move any further, I want to make sure that we draw a line in the sand. And that is, we are not talking about, I am not speaking towards and about anyone who's in a relationship that is abusive, where somebody that has power over them and they are misusing that power. I'm not talking about physical abuse. I'm not talking about emotional abuse even when it comes to, they're doing it on purpose. And it's in a very negative situation. And it's harmful. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the laundry not being done, the kids screaming and yelling, and, he's just sitting on the couch and you're doing all the disciplining. The kitchen's a mess and you've done the dishes for now 250 days straight, and why aren't you lifting a finger to help me in the kitchen? Those are the situations we're talking about. I want this house, you want that house. I want to buy a new car, you want to keep your old, junker. Those are the kind of things we're talking about here. We're not talking about someone who's using their power to empower, to overwhelm someone with their power when it comes to abuse, physical abuse. If you are in that situation and you're listening to this right now, I want to encourage you to find someone to go to. Maybe it's a pastor of your church. If you don't have a church, any great church that you go to and you walk in there and you have a need, they'll help you get help, okay? It doesn't matter the denomination. Walk into that church and ask for help. Of course, I'm here, but I would also encourage you to go to someone, a confidant. Maybe it's not your family. Maybe you're concerned as to who knows what. That's okay. Maybe it's your girlfriend. Maybe it's a friend that you met online that is absolutely incredible. And it's like you've been best friends for 20 years, but it's only been 3 years. Maybe it's an authority figure, a policeman, a paramedic, a firefighter, even going to the hospital. Reach out to someone. Safety is the most important factor here right now when you're in this kind of a situation. So I want to encourage you and know that I'm praying for you. And seriously, if you are in a situation and you ever want to talk, please reach out to me. There's not a lot that I can do from afar, but I can pray and I can give you some guidance as to maybe what your next step should be. But now when we have to go handle the laundry and the dinner and who's cooking and doing what, who's handling the kids, all right, well, let's get down to business now. Keeping score is a losing game. So you got to stop it and you got to look at your KISS. Let go and forgive, that F word that we so love to talk about. Some people think it's overrated. It's so not. If it's good enough for Jesus Christ, it should be good enough for us. So let's break it down. Number 1, be kind instead of being right. This is where you retire the scorekeeper. Woohoo! You don't need a scorekeeper. Yes! Now you can focus your energy on something else more positive, like investing and giving in your marriage. Be kind instead of being right. We all like control. And if you like control, you like being right. Welcome to the human race. We're all at fault at this. So when you focus on being kind, you take it from a different perspective, a different approach. So be kind instead of being right. It opens your eyes to beginning to understand their position. That doesn't mean you're saying that they're right, okay? Just understand that. That doesn't make them better than you. Understand that. You are simply saying, I'm open to listening. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be respectful. Number 2, forgive and give grace to the person, not the act. This is really, 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 really sticky. And because it's fall, all I can think of is a caramel apple. It truly is. Forgive and give grace. And you're like, well, it depends on what it is. If they really hurt me, and they keep saying these things to me like, I don't add up, I'm an okay mom, or, this dinner is ridiculous, or why can't you get this house cleaned all the time? What are you doing? All you do is stay at home. That hurts, doesn't it? It really does. Sometimes when those statements are made, they don't mean for them to hurt like they do, but they do hurt. Words have power. But it's not about forgiving the act. So it's not about forgiving the statement. It's about forgiving and giving grace to that person who made the statement. It's between God and the person, whether, be your spouse or even yourself, to work that out. Because you can't control that person. You can only control you. So forgive and give grace to the person, not the act. You probably have heard people who, horrible things are done. A murder happens. And the family says, we've actually come to terms and we've forgiven this person. They forgave the person because it's not their job to judge. It's not their job to bring justice on the act itself. They're just looking at the person. Because when you cannot forgive the person, you are holding yourself hostage. You're jailing yourself. And you can't move forward. And that means what? You've just depleted your whole emotional bank account. You have negative. It's gone. It's wiped out. And sometimes that's when you sink into depression, bitterness. Thoughts of suicide creep in. Yeah, this stuff is real. And it's serious. So we got to take it seriously. Forgive and give grace. That's what Jesus Christ extends to us. We are to do the same. Is it easy? Oh, no, it's not. It's a simple framework, but it's not easy. But you know what? Practice creates progress, and that's what you're looking for here. So forgive and give grace. And number 3, be present and let go of the past. You cannot be present if you are locked in, deadlocked to your past. It hurts any relationship you're trying to build, whether it's the relationship with your spouse, the relationship with your children, the relationship with your mom, your dad, a sibling, a coworker. It sabotages everything. So you've got to, in order to be present, you've got to let go of that past. You got to come to terms with it. Once when you can do that, you can say, okay, now I can look at this moment here. Wait, and then I can look at this moment here. I think of Snapchat. I'm not one, I have an account, but I really don't use it yet. My kids are like, Mom, you should do that. It would be fun. They're on it, and I know that they're on it, and I can monitor it, and I get all of that, and I'm fine with it. But it's interesting that, they'll take a picture or they'll do this funny little movie, quick little clip, and they'll send it off to their little, group of friends that they have on, because I don't let them just share and have it open to anybody. And that's kind of what we're creating in our lives, is this Snapchat, this little moment in time that says, I did this, and I really focused on this, and yes, this was good. Oh, I could have changed that, but this is what I learned. All is well. Oh, wait, and we went to dinner. What an extraordinary dinner, and we had a great conversation. The kids were taken care of by their grandparents, and I just wish I could have another date like that. Oh, wait, and then, we got this bill, and it's overdue, and now I've got that extra fee, and, well, you know what? Life sometimes happens and gets in the way. I'll make a note in my calendar and make a change so I don't forget it the next time. It's these little snaps throughout our life. You can be present in them if you let go of the past. But if you don't, you're keeping score. And when you keep score, you can't move forward. Maybe you've been hurt too many times in previous relationships. When you haven't let go of the past, yes, that means you learn from it. I'm not saying you forget it, but you learn from it. There is a difference. So when you're able to let go of it, meaning you've said, okay, I got this, I learned it, then you can move forward. But otherwise, you're in this new wonderful relationship. It may be your Cinderella story, but you are self-sabotaging it because of what happened in the past. Oh, he's going to turn out to be just like that. So just watch. And then you interject things and you don't even realize you're doing it. I want you to really think hard this weekend as to where and how you're keeping score in your marriage. Because keeping score is a losing game. Maybe you want help, but you want to have that broken down. Click on the link, Take Aim, in the show notes. It's my free gift to you. It's a coaching call. Maybe you've heard me mention this before, but maybe right now is when you really need it. Click on that link, Take Aim. A little form will pop up. It'll come to me. That will begin our conversation. We'll set up a call. It's not easy living life. God never said it was going to be. But God is love, and we are to give love. God forgives, and we are to extend forgiveness. Are you doing the same? Are you modeling what Jesus Christ wants us to model? That doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. Only He can be. But with every single step you take, it's going to lead you to miles of greatness. Keeping score is a losing game. It's time to win. Come on. We got football games to watch here. We want to see some winning teams. And I want you to be creating a winning team in your life. Let go and forgive. Control only what you can control. Because nothing is impossible. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life, and love your journey? Visit CreateYourNow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.